Hi guys, good morning. I wasn't going to do a video today because I have not been feeling very good at all. But well, I feel compelled to do one because I think this stuff needs to be talked about, because far too many of us languish in the belief that we're the only ones going through this. You know, you'll be out there on your own somewhere thinking, I'm going mad, there's something wrong with me, you know, and everybody else is, you know, just fine, and it must be me, maybe I'm mentally ill, you know, all the usual programming that we've been subjected to in this fucking matrix. When this shit comes up, you feel that way. Look, the hell contagion, people, the hell contagion that I've spoken about in so many different ways for as long as I've been doing these videos, really. Now, as you all know, I have my own peculiar take on what this is all about. And a lot of people may think I'm completely nuts, but I'm at the point now where I think, you know, I don't give a fuck, I don't care. It is how I feel. And I feel this very strongly, and I get this validated over and over and over again in the synchronicity or in any kind of weird sort of way. The fact that there are very, very few souled people. People is a derogatory term, actually, you know, I hate that word. I'm a human being. No, you're not. You're an infinite being. So there are very few souled, infinite beings here. Very few. And we come across people all the time that we want to believe are souled. We want to believe that because we are empathetic beings. You know, we need this connection, we need this communion, this belonging, this sense of belonging, of something. And we don't really get that in this world, because this is a heavily contaminated realm, is what this is. Now, we have major issues trusting ourselves. This is because we've been heavily brainwashed, mind controlled and targeted to be completely unable to trust ourselves. So we then expect to find our answers and our validation on the external plane. But all the external plane, the field, will do, it will validate the mind control and the programming. It will say, you're wrong. The mind control tells you what to do and what to think and who you are and what you are, and so you need to believe that. It will never, ever validate us unless it's in the synchronicity. And it will pop out at us, literally like, poof, wow, ooh. Yeah, and even then you have to be a little bit careful as well, because, you know, you can't always trust it. It's what I've noticed of late. Again, I'm sitting here now and there's all these different things coming at me, like, oh, there's this and there's that, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because there's so much happening, there's so much going down, people. It's literally like a deluge. It feels, honestly, it feels like we are living in the biblical end times. And I don't like the Bible because obviously it was written by, it's an archonic book, it's evil. But for the same, yeah, it's weird, isn't it, how we live in this world where there is so much evil, and yet there are pearls in it that we can extract. That is the power of the light, you see. But what is happening at the moment is that the hell contagion, I think, it's being cleared out. But as it's being cleared out, it really, it feels very strong. It's like resistance, but it comes out. Oh, it's horrible. I've been hearing demonic voices horrible demonic type voices, and I've been feeling this sense of conflict, you know, conflict consciousness. It wants to argue, it wants to harm, it wants to hurt, it wants to argue. The many people are falling out, there are misunderstandings, people are fighting with each other, I see it everywhere. It's conflict consciousness, which is the hell contagion. It thrives on war, it thrives on harm, it thrives on everything that is dark and just dysfunctional and broken and distorted, and it's in full swing. It really just is. I mean, just not feeling well physically. So here I was at home, and there was a series that I fancied watching called Pennyworth, right? And it's supposed to be about Batman's butler, and I kind of like all the superhero stuff and whatnot. And oh boy, it was pure satanic Luciferian evil. And when I say satanic, I'm not talking about Satan of the Bible as such, but there is evil in this world. You get these people, and I find it so annoying. It's like, well, you can't say satanic because then you're referring to Christianity, and it's like, yeah, semantics, people. What, you're saying there is no evil now? Is that it? Oh, it's just, again, and then you get that conflict consciousness which rises like bile within you, where you just want to just come at them because people are so full of shit. It's unbelievable, and they can't see it, and they're not doing the work, and it fucks me off to a massive degree. It's like, now is a time, people, to step up and to see and to open your eyes and to open your ears and to understand what is happening. We have to be doing that, because otherwise, wow, it will funnel itself through us, and we will be its minions. It works that way. We have to understand what this is. Well, I can say that, but you know, of course it doesn't quite work that way, because you won't understand something until you're ready to understand it. I know this is true. But it's so frustrating that there's still people walking around claiming that evil doesn't exist. It's like, wow. There is so much, it literally doesn't want people, especially soul people, it doesn't want us to commune with each other. These soul families, you see, that is what it hates more than anything, and it seriously seeks to prevent that from happening. So there's many misunderstandings, and there's people falling out over absolutely nothing. There are people falling out because one believes this and another believes that, and it's like, wow. And there's so much hatred and vengefulness and violence and shit floating around. I can feel it. It's acute. People are behaving badly. It's like going to the farm shop just because I needed some stuff, and it's like, wow, bad attitudes. Bad attitudes, appalling. Just because you're not wearing a mask, or just because they don't like you, because that is really the truth, you know. Everything designed to trigger, and physical symptoms like my gums and my teeth are hurting like a motherfucker, and just not barely being able to walk yesterday. It was so bad. It was incredible. I mean, I felt like somebody had hit me over the head with a baseball bat. It was appalling. When you get when you're in a state of physical unwellness, that's what really brings it home to you as well. I think there are people out there whose health is absolutely fine, and they have problems going on in their life, and they talk about that, and they think that they're really, really suffering, and I'm like, whoa, you ain't seen nothing yet. And But of course, you know, when you're going through something in your life and it's really, really hard and you're really suffering through 2020, one way or another, that is the level of suffering that you're familiar with, that you know, and it feels like hell to you. But then it keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and you get used to, believe it or not, every level, as it gets darker and more painful and more distorted and whatnot. You get used to it. You don't get used to it, but you know, it's like, oh well, this is the new normal. It's like you're carrying a basket on your back which is full of stones, and big heavy stones are being added to it all the time. And on top of that, you then find that you can't even have a normal conversation with people, or you can't even connect with people, because there are distortions and there's paranoia and there's fear and there's projections. People project all kinds of shit onto each other because it's their own inner shit that is doing that. And that is what the hell contagion, the dark generator, uses. It uses all the trauma self. It uses the unconscious self. It uses the mechanic self. The mechanic self being, well, evil and darkness is the truth. That is how it is. Evil always wins. And so I better just stay in the dark and live on my knees, expect the worst. That way I'll never be disappointed. And, you know, there is so much more to that, to living like that, that I'm not even going to bother putting it into words anymore, because you either get that or you don't. I mean, I come across people that, like online, there was this guy who claims of, oh, shadow work, you know, and this, that and the other, but he's a big fan of boxing and fighting and things like that, and he still thinks that, you know, the world is this and the world, and you know, it's just like, okay, you're not awake. And if you still think violence is a good thing, then forget it. But these are all Matrix characters, you know, and it just keeps. Oh, it's so clever. It's so clever, guys. I'm really sorry if I'm just rambling on and I'm not really making any sense this morning, but maybe I should really not be doing this video. But I just felt like, if I'm feeling like this, there's other people out there right now, soul travelers, who are going to be feeling this way. Distortion and hell contagion, like this violence and just, I see images of just demonic entities, and people hating each other that were previously friends, and just violence and blood and just nasty, horrible, evil filth, basically. I could hear the demonic voices in the middle of the night. It was appalling. It's like, wah, yeah, yeah, like they were talking to each other. Obviously I couldn't understand what they were saying, because they have their own language, presumably, but these are creatures from the hell realms, basically, and this is just, it's bad. It behoves us to really be in awareness of our own darkness, and when we are not, it will use that. That is the part of us that the dark generator, the forces of evil, latch onto and use. It's like that. Why do you think we're in this state in the first place? Trauma is the gateway, people, you know? And oh, the fear. It is full-on psychic attack time, because it's like, well, you're screwed, you're finished, you're doomed, you're never going to get anywhere. Evil always wins. And the reason that we simply, this is the trauma trap, by the way, this is an aspect of the trauma trap. The reason that we have such issues with trusting that this is all going to work out, with trusting in love, trusting in light, and trusting in the inherent benevolence of this that is very real, that really is at the helm one way or another, that things are going to work out, that we are precious, that we are loved, that we are on some level safe somehow, that things will not be allowed to really get out of hands. I have reason to doubt that these last few days. Believe me, it's been, wow, like honestly yesterday, because I need to be in nature, and it was like I could barely walk. It was just appalling. And it was like, yeah, really? Benevolence? But you see, this is the trauma self. We have been in this heavily infested with evil, with a hell contagion in this realm. We have been here. We have been traumatized to the max, to the hilt. This place is so insane, and it's worse now than ever before. So of course we're not going to trust that. People get extremely upset when you start talking to them about love, about light, about the power of the good. People get very upset. And for good reason. But at the end of the day, people, if we need to become aware of this mechanism, the trauma trap that says, no, the evil always wins. That is at the center of that. That's the belief that, well, evil's all powerful. And look at the state you're in. Look what's happening to your body. Look what's happening to your life. Look what's happening to the world. You can feel these strong emotions coming up of hatred, of rage, of wanting to harm other people. Yes, their behavior is really, really bad, no doubt about it. But you want at them, you want to harm them physically. Not that I would, of course, but strong stuff is coming up here. Very dense, very dark, very overwhelming. And it's being triggered very, very much. It's being triggered. There's all kinds of weird shenanigans going on in the fields. Very weird shit. And you just, try and find something that you can watch on Netflix or Amazon Prime or anywhere at all that is not full of distorted sex, violence, torture, or just absolutely horrific things like people having their heads blown off, and it'll show you exactly what the head looks like. It's just, that's hell, people. That is hell. Right? And you think, well, I'm going to look that up on IMDb, and you look at the reviews, and it's young people, clearly, and they love it. They absolutely love it. Oh, it's brilliant. It's the best thing I've ever seen. And they're reveling in hell, because that is what that is. You see how in these TV series, there is like something happening that is basically good, like a family unit of a mother and a father who really love their son, and he has this girlfriend, and something good is happening there, and then the girl gets murdered and everything goes to shit, and it's like evil, typical, saying, see, evil always wins. We do the most horrific things to people. We cut off their noses and we cut off their feet, and yeah, ha 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 ha. Evil, like American Horror Story, which I only ever watched the first series, and after that I've never touched it, but I know what it is, and it's evil. It's the most grotesque filth ever, and it's incredible. It's very hard to foster any kind of trust in love or in light when you see that, when you are aware of that, when you realize what is happening, that we are in a war of sorts. Yeah? And you think, well, considering what I've been through, what my life has been, what I've seen, what has been done to me, that can only mean one thing, that evil is all powerful, and that we're all screwed forever and ever and ever. And that notion is actively encouraged by the dark generator, right? Yeah, that's how it is. Now go and hate yourself and hate everybody else, and go and fucking, like, there was this car yesterday, there's these women in it, and there was plenty of space for them to go past me, but they just wouldn't. They were just going like 2 miles an hour behind me, and I'm like, what's that about? I turned around, I went, look, can you go please, because I don't like that, it's just a bit weird. But it's just somebody, for some reason, who, I don't know, can they not drive perhaps? Maybe they have difficulty judging space and distance or whatever, you know. In the end I went past. But oh, that brought up a shitload of rage. You know, I later on I saw that car parked somewhere and I wanted to do something to that car, and it's like, wow. Obviously I'm not going to do that. Obviously I see that. I'm a witness, the sentinel within myself. It is, it's just beyond words. It's beyond words, people, what is happening here. The forces of darkness are really, really, really kicking off in a big way. And if we are not vigilant and aware of our inner weaknesses, which is our trauma self, and I'm not talking about, oh, it's a weakness and we must, you know, attack it or root it out. No, we must love ourselves. This is the thing. You can do that even if you don't actually feel. It's not necessarily an emotion, because when you're really in it, I've said this before, when you're in a massive purge and you're really in it, sometimes you don't feel the love, you don't feel it at all, you don't feel the light. But it's always within you. Your true self is always there. And it's being still. It's stop doing everything you're doing. Just stop. And just tune into yourself and be aware and ask, what am I feeling here? What is happening here? And learn to observe what is happening. Because if you're going through life on autopilot, you're just going to be fodder, you know. See, evil's pissed off, I feel. That is a distinct sense I get. I feel it's desperation, but it's so full of hatred. It's way beyond hatred. I don't think I actually have any words for the emotions that it feels. It wants to annihilate, rip apart. It literally is, and I could hear its voice. Well, there were all these different voices, and it really was it was horrible, absolutely horrible. It's like, its days are numbered. It knows it. It knows it. The light is so bright now and powerful, but that is exactly why evil is doing what it's doing. It's like last-ditch effort or something. It's truly dire. And we need to be aware. We need to be in awareness as much as we can be, I feel. So be aware that we have a tendency to go into automatic mode, like, oh, never think about it, just carry on, do what you're doing. Don't do that. Just don't. Stop. Be aware. And yeah, because it's just unbelievable. I mean, the inherent belief that we carry within us is that evil is more powerful than good at the very least. Of course, that isn't true. But that is how it feels, and it feels that way very, very overwhelmingly strong at the moment. It's like, no, How dare you believe that the light will win? How dare you trust or surrender or step into light and believe in the inherent benevolence and goodness here, that is real, that is where you can allow yourself to be, to dwell. You can't do that. If you do that, evil will come and punish you. It will rip you apart. There is no light. There is only evil. Oh, that is... Trauma will make you think that way. Trauma really will make you believe that. And we have been so severely traumatized. It's a trauma trap. And if we continue to dwell in that hinterland, then it will continue to play out that way. But we won't, because we are being set free. But this is a deep, deep, deep excavation. And so on the external, the dark generator, the hell contagion, call it what you will, is really, really panicking. It's like, oh, we can't let that, no, we can't let that happen. So it attacks. It attacks us. It attacks us. Psychic attack. It attacks us on the mental and the emotional plane, or on the physical plane, you know. And it does that because it thinks it's going to then hijack and stop the process. But of course it can't, because it's been doing that from day one anyway, and it hasn't stopped the process of clearance yet. It hasn't stopped it. But at the moment it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be tough. It feels like shit, you know. I mean, basically, this is what I wrote down. It's... If you believe evil's all powerful and that it always wins, but at the same time you sit there and expect something to come and save you, like how something is going to come and take me out of this place, or it's gonna, you know, the event is gonna happen, or, you know, something is gonna come and save me. But your prime belief here is that evil always wins. Well, do you see what I mean? That is what trauma has done to us. It has made us think like that. It doesn't, it's not even any, there is no real rationality to it. Because I mean, think about it. Think about the good things in this world, like a kingfisher, or a beautiful beech tree, or a stunningly beautiful beach, or whatever. This goodness here, this realm was not created by evil, but it was infected by evil, and evil's been busy distorting it, raping it, hurting it, ripping it apart. That is what is happening here, well, has been happening here. But so life has become, you know, a constant exercise in damage control, and it's just completely insane. And another thing that occurred to me was this. It was a few instances where I've caught people in conversations where they're talking about bodies, our bodies, you know. And it's like, ooh, yuck, oh, I don't want to know, I don't want to know. There is a deep, inherent sense of shame about our bodies, you know, our bodies, such as they are, our bodily functions, our sexual functions, the fact that that the same organs that we use for waste elimination are also used for, you know, in sexual things, and there is a sense of yuckness that everybody feels, but everybody again is busy. Oh no, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. That's why everybody is so motivated to look good. That's why we have all these programs about all these like the Kardashians and all this, and like, oh, beautiful, plastic surgery and perfection, which never looks good at all. Actually, it looks totally fake, because it is fake. Because the truth is that deep down within, we know we are in a fallen state. You see, this is a fallen realm, and we are in a fallen state. That is why our bodies are smelly. That is why we have physical, you know, waste. We eat and it comes out, and we eat and it comes out. Come on, people, that ain't right. We know that. Okay? And there's a lot I can talk about with regards to sex, actually, and that is just all wrong. It isn't right. I'm not saying sex is a bad thing, by the way. I'm not saying it, but as such, but it's just been twisted and tortured, and what you see now, and what people do, and what people are into, and what people express and are okay with. We are in a fallen state, and the fact is that we know this. We do. Anybody who still thinks that this is all right and that everything is as it's supposed to be is basically an NPC, and they're no good. A true soul traveller will know, at least to some extent now, with great discomfort, that this is all fucking wrong. It is a very, very distorted facsimile of where we came from before we were here. Because we do have a memory of that. We do remember who and what we really are. We remember because we feel so intensely uncomfortable in our own bodies, in how these bodies look, in what happens to them as we grow older, the decay, continual, in how easily they are hurt, how long it takes to fix them, heal them, how it's a constant effort, also how smelly they are, and it's just all wrong. It's all fucking wrong. You know, when you have earrings, you take your earring out and then you rub that part of your body or your belly button. No matter how often you wash it, it smells putrid. That's because inside our bodies are all putrid, because we've been subjected to chemical soup from the minute we were born. You can detox yourself every day for the rest of your life, and it's still not going to be enough. Because we live in an electromagnetic soup which has been infected in every imaginable level, and that is what this place is. It is an evil, dark facsimile now, because we have fallen, and we are in a fallen state. Going home, I could be completely wrong, but what I feel is going home doesn't mean we need to leave this place to go somewhere else. We are here in this fallen state, and then things begin to shift, veils begin to part, and things begin to happen. Good, beautiful, resplendent things, miraculous things, and magical things begin to happen. It's not a case of, well, we must leave this place. This place is evil and it's shit and we need to get out of here somehow. You see, that again, that's clunky thing. And there's so many people that seem to actually believe they are in the movie, The Matrix, which again, it's no, people. Those are allegories. You're not supposed to think this is the truth, we are in the Matrix. Those are allegories. Those are likes that your true self discerns in the field. It's like, yes. Your true self is guiding you more and more and more now, as it were, and showing you the way through this chaos. The only way out is through, and that is consciousness. You know, we're not here to fix the external or to fix this or fix that. No, we're here to heal our consciousness. The shit is happening in here, people, in our consciousness. And so it manifests in the external, and our body is part of the external as well, and our life is part of the external and all of that, and you know. Hence the purges, all these heavy, sludgy experiences we are going through on the emotional plane, on the physical plane, and you know, the mental plane. Because it becomes very, very, very acutely, painfully obvious that this place is completely fucked up now. But the only way that we can sort this out is from within, with our consciousness. I mean, that is... Oh, darling. Yes, I know. Come here then. Yeah. Yeah, I lost my cat. My little black cat died last week Sunday as well. And Looms here misses his brother. They were together for 20 years and he's in the right state. And we all are, actually. It all happened very, very quickly, and I wasn't really going to mention it, but that's what started this all off. Fix our consciousness, and that is where it is at, people. It is the projector in the cinema. When you sit back and really watch your own consciousness, observe yourself, then you can clearly see the hell contagion. You can see what is responsible for all this insanity, this chaos, this corruption, this pure evil filth that we see everywhere now. It just can't hide itself anymore. You see, now evil would much rather hide. It would much rather that people weren't aware of its existence, you see, but just caught in evil without even being aware of the fact that they are. I mean, yeah, what you see on the external plane is you see all these NPCs loving evil everywhere, because it wants you to think that, there you go, evil's won. See, everybody loves evil. Everybody is actively engaged in evil now, and so, be happy in evil. Evil's great, and, we all love it. It's like that McDonald's ad, I'm loving it. Or the Coca-Cola ad, for that matter. But you see, that is not real, people. That is the field. That is the fake reality. Call it the Matrix. And it's there, the hive is there, saying, see, join us. But you see, obviously, that's all a lie. That isn't real. It's dying within us, the hell contagion, because we're healing the trauma, you see. We're healing the trauma bit by bit by bit. We are bringing ourselves home from the trauma trap. The more we do that, the less the dark generator, or the hell contagion, has to latch. Yes, darling, come on. It can't latch onto us anymore. The only way that it can control us, the only way that it can control our consciousness and keep creating hell, is through the trauma self. That is what it latches onto. It has a hook and it goes straight into, click, like the trauma self. Because the trauma self is there believing that evil always wins, you see. The more we heal through these really difficult dark purges that we are going through, we bring ourselves home. The more we do that, the less evil has to hook into, you see. So we get to a point where there's nothing left for evil to use against us at all. Game over. And that is the ultimate mechanism. I've felt this for a long time now, where that belief that, well, evil's all powerful. Evil's very powerful, and that's how it is. And of course we would think that way, because let's face it, we've been through absolute hell here, people, haven't we? It's been absolutely hell-like. But by the by, we will be able to know, to see, to understand, to feel, to realize the inherent benevolence, the goodness, the light, the magic, the power of love. We will be able to, to bring that into form, and then the veils begin to part, and we will realize, I think, that going home is something that happens in here first and then begins to manifest itself within us and all around us. And then we realize perhaps that in a sense it was always a matter of perception. because you see, the projector has been cleaned and a new movie has been put into it, and that which is projected onto the screen is no longer a horror movie, but this incredibly, unspeakably beautiful, artsy type film, you know, that sort of thing. But this is where the projector is, pineal gland, and that is where the movie is, and that horror film has to be taken out, you see, because that's it. But oh, it fights, it claws, it bites, it's evil. That's what evil does. That's the nature of the beast. So be aware of that, people. Challenge your perceptions, you know. Because with regards to relationships, and it really seems to be going for that now in a big way, friendships, especially in the soul traveler community, people are, you know, projecting and attacking and falling out, and there's all kinds of stuff going on, and it's very important to examine yourself and say, hold on a minute, why do I feel this way about this? Is my reaction, is my response, is that correct, or is that inspired by my shadow self, my trauma self? What is really going on here? Because it seems that it's so easy to upset somebody now for small reasons or whatever, and then all of a sudden, boom. Okay, I'm not speaking to you anymore. Oh, and that is exactly what it wants, you see. That is what it wants. See, soul travelers, our community, you see, we are here together, and we, well, it's important that we don't allow the dark side to undermine us in this way, in our actions, in our behavior, in that way. This is not good. It's very difficult, I know. We're so afraid of people, you see. People hurt us very, very badly. We have hurt people very badly too, you know. This is what happens when you're in the hell contagion state. It's a problem. If you look at the world and the way people treat each other, it's not good. I mean, there are people that manage to behave in wonderful ways as well, but unfortunately a lot of it now, it's people are incredibly violent and antagonistic because it's all coming up. So let's, you know, let's keep the doors open so that we can continue to work things out and continue to communicate and continue to share this journey with each other and to support each other a tiny little bit and to really support ourselves here, because we need ourselves now more than ever before. Forget about getting it from the external people, because you know what, you are number one responsible for your experience and your journey. This is you. Whatever resonates with you strongly, go with that. You know, just follow your hearts, follow your gut instincts, follow your intuition. And if things get very dark and you feel lost in a trauma trap, in the dark forest, and you've got a clue what's happening and you're in agony, that happens. And that doesn't mean you're getting it wrong. You have to ride it out. I've been there many times. You're not getting it wrong. They will tell you that you're getting it wrong. They will say that. They will say, well, look at the state you're in. Oh, you should go and see the naturopath, and you should go and see the homeopath, and colloidal silver, and monatomic gold, and take vitamin C, and you get all these people, because right now there's a strong energy of these people. They're very condescending, they're often narcissists, that want to tell you you're getting it wrong, and how you should be living your life, and you should be doing this, and you should be doing that, and you should be doing that. No, 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 fuck off, right? Because it isn't that way. Because you know what's right for you. There are things that you need to go and do. There are things you need to go and try. There are things you need to go and experience because some of those things are going to be wrong for you, but in the being wrong for you, they're going to turn out to be right for you. We have to get it wrong in order to get it right. Therein lies an important pointer, by the way, people. It shows you that there is benevolence inherent somehow in this. Hard to believe, I know. But I've been through a lot of shit that, whilst being wrong on the face of it, has turned out to be right for me, because it has served my journey in massive, massive way. So even though I'm here right now feeling pretty shitty, my true self is present here, and it says, I love you with all my heart, and I surround myself with that love, and I hold on, because I know that, yes, the voices of the demons are saying, oh, you're so screwed, you're gonna rot forever. Truly nasty shit. The light is there saying, that's all bullshit, my darling, don't worry, it's being cleared out. It's a deep excavation of nastiness here. And then you elevate, and you elevate, your consciousness is clearer, so it expands, so you get it even more, and you become more potent, and you become more powerful, and your vision will be very clear. Yes, yes. You see? That is what is happening. We are regaining our true self more and more and more. We are becoming stronger, more potent, more magical. I sense the power of the light. I also sense my trauma self, and it's terrifying. It's saying I can't step into the light, and I can't allow myself to believe in the power of good. Because if I do that, I'm going to find out that it's all a sick, sadistic, evil game, and that evil does always win. And what am I going to do then? It's all this weird, schismy, fucked up shit. That is what trauma does. That is PTSD, people, is what that is. You see, so don't blame yourself for that. But, you know, get ready to start to really get the fact that, oh, there is goodness here. It is powerful, and I am a part of that. I am a child of the light. I am the light. I am the power of the light, and I am the magic and the infinite power and magic and infinite creativity of love. That is what we are. Yes. We're not trapped here, really, but that is a very strong feeling, a very strong illusion of the trauma self, and the dark generator tells you that, and the trauma self believes that, and there's all that passive-aggressive, self-hating nonsense going on there that, you know, some of you perhaps have yet to get, but it will click into place, you know, it will all click into place. We just have to batten down the hedges, I think, for the next few days, probably the whole coming week, and ride it out. I think I'll call it a day. I've just been, and I'm sorry if this has been a bit rambly. There was something that happened the other day I thought was interesting. Yeah, trauma distorts everything. This is true. So I make little notes, because trauma, yes, the trauma trap is a trauma distortion. So I told you I had a dream, and it said DEC 20. And that was quite some time ago, 3 months ago, I think. And it was like, oh, what's that mean? December 20? Ooh. You know. Well, when I was watching that horrible TV series, Pennyworth, I was pondering. I was on the sofa and I was thinking, oh God, how much longer? Oh, you know, as you do. And the guy goes, what did he say? Goodness me, so annoying. Oh. He said, first of all, the word, because I had the subtitles on, first of all it said magic. That word is very significant for me. It comes up a lot for me in the synchronicities. Magic. And then he said, Old Lang Syne, loose ends. Now, of late, Loose ends have been coming up a lot. Tying up loose ends. Finalizing. Tying up loose ends. Magic. Auld Lang Syne. We all know that we sing Auld Lang Syne in this country when it's New Year's Eve. So December 2020 seems to feature rather large on the horizon. I'm not going to say, right, everything will be A-okay December 2020. I'm not saying that, but something I really feel is going to shift in a positive way in December 2020. Magic, Auld Lang Syne, and the loose ends meaning this is a time of tying up loose ends. Deep excavations of the darkest, most putrid evil. And I keep seeing blue diamonds everywhere, and that is also profoundly meaningful, because that is changing the waters of life from black, putrid evil to blue, clear, and a true consciousness. See, I put all of that in my life story myself. This is what the Green Wizard said before to me, and that resonated in a big way. Any of you newbies, by the way, there is another YouTube channel called The Green Wizard. I think you will resonate with that quite possibly, so go and check it out. It's Ducky, The Green Wizard. He's a good friend of mine, a fellow soul traveler, and just, well, what can I say? I love his channel. It does a lot for me, so go and check that out. As I said, sorry about the ramble today, but I'm doing this video a lot for myself as well, for my own clarification, because I really truly feel quite lost in the swamp at the moment. But as I'm doing this video, I already feel lighter, because I am connecting with other soul travelers out there, and this is a healing covenant. So people, let's try and tune into love rather than that which seeks to divide us. You see, the divide and conquer is there for a reason. So do not let misunderstandings and projections and misapprehensions and fears, worries, agitation separate us. You see, we are a soul family. And even though we may not even know one another, we are logistically situated throughout the field, and we are all connected intrinsically, and this is a logistic enterprise, people, make no mistake. Wherever you find yourself at, you are very important, and all the other soul travelers are too. We are all connected, and we actually give a lot more to each other than we are aware of, and we receive a lot more from each other than we are aware of. Believe me. Just for me doing these videos, I feel a connection to all of you, and I'm so glad to have you in my life, whether I know you personally or not. I feel you. I feel your presence out there, and I feel your beauty and your magic. So thank you for that, and thank you for subscribing to my channel. You're all very, very welcome, and you're welcome to leave comments, and you know, to connect with other soul travelers in the comment section below. And you know, yeah. So I think that's it for today, people. So you hang in there, all right, and see if you can allow yourself to gradually tune into that sense of light, of love, of benevolence, of an inherent goodness that is very much here, always has been. And yes, they're saying, oh, if that were true, you wouldn't have had to suffer, you wouldn't be in this state. Actually, that isn't true. We came here on a quest. That I get very strongly. This isn't meaningless suffering. It never was. Love, the great shift, and going home. That is what this is about now for us. And to that end we shall work. To that end we shall, you know, valiantly keep going forth. All my love. Bye.